Hey guys, Rami here with your second stimulus check update and second stimulus package update for Sunday, October 11th. This is insane, you guys. It's frustrating. I can't take these updates anymore and the emotional roller coaster that the politicians in Congress put us through, especially the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. 2 days ago, we had a huge update when President Trump approved the $1.8 trillion deal, which we now know some of the details of that offer, and we also have Nancy Pelosi's response to that deal. Oh, and by the way, reports are out saying that the number is actually more around 1.9 trillion, so we're right there. But wait till you hear what Pelosi said, and you be the judge here on what that means. So let's get into the details right after you please hit the like button on the video. It's totally free, it doesn't cost you anything. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so I can keep you up to date on everything regarding the second stimulus check and stimulus package, plus more money and finance news. Alright, so what was in that $1.9 trillion deal? First thing, the $1,200 stimulus checks for adults and $1,000 per child. This is double what was in the first stimulus package. So a family of 4, 2 adults and 2 children would get a total of $4,400. And this looks to be just for children under 17 and not adult dependents, and we'll see in a minute why that is. For state and local government, the counter-offer bill had $300 billion, which is up from the original $250 billion, but still far less from the $436 billion the Democrats wanted in the updated HEROES Act. But as we've said many times before, this is going to be a big point of contention because the idea here for Republicans is that they want to cover the losses suffered by the states and local governments due to the pandemic, but the Democrats want to fund the potential future losses as well. So this will be a problem. But honestly, at this point, it looks like Democrats led by Nancy Pelosi are really holding their ground and winning in these negotiations. I mean, Republicans so far went up from 0 to, I believe, $150 billion, then $250, and now $300 billion. So of course, this will make Democrats believe, well, if this has been working so far, we'll just keep holding our ground until Republicans give in. But here's the tricky part, and this part is just my opinion, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Republicans led by President Trump might be willing to give in little by little as long as they get something done before the elections, because of course, President Trump wants to get a deal done before the elections to help him get reelected. Anything that gets done now will look good for the president. But my fear here is that if Democrats play hardball far too long and they don't get anything done before the election and President Trump still gets reelected anyway, then maybe the Republicans will say, okay, election is over, we won, we don't want any more stimulus packages because of the debt, so forget about it. I don't know, that's something I'm worried about, and I hope it doesn't come to that. Another detail we found out in that counteroffer bill is that it will boost unemployment for a longer period of time, but still at the $400 per week number. Democrats wanted $600 per week from September 6th until the end of January, and Republicans wanted $400 per week, but for 5 less weeks. Looks like they went up in terms of the duration, but we don't have details on exactly how much. So now to the frustrating part of this whole update. Nancy Pelosi's response to this $1.9 trillion deal, she released this statement. On Friday, the Trump administration returned to the table with a proposal that attempted to address some of the concerns Democrats have in the stimulus negotiations. This proposal amounted to 1 step forward, 2 steps back. When the president talks about wanting a bigger relief package, his proposal appears to mean that he wants more money at his discretion to grant or withhold, rather than agreeing on language prescribing how we honor our workers, crush the virus, and put money in the pockets of workers. At this point, we still have disagreement on many priorities, and Democrats are awaiting language from the administration on several provisions as the negotiations on the overall funding amount continue. Then she goes on to say, from start to finish, the Trump administration refuses to honor our heroes and respect the safety of our workforce. The funding for state and local remains sadly inadequate. At the same time, the Trump proposal recklessly leaves behind workers by ignoring the need for strong OSHA protections to keep our workers safe as they risk their lives and jobs to keep us safe and keep the economy running. We are urging the administration to support our strong OSHA language, which requires OSHA to issue an enforceable emergency temporary standard within 7 days that covers all workers from the virus infections. Unfortunately, they have a liability provision that is reckless in how it ignores safety in the workplace. So basically, what Nancy Pelosi is not happy about still is the liability protections proposed by the Republicans, which makes it insanely hard to sue any business in relation to the virus. She doesn't like the numbers for state and local government. Then she gives examples of other things that she wants, like the earned income credit, the child tax credit, and child dependent care tax credit. Childcare funding, where she wants $57 billion and Republicans are offering $25 billion. And there's $200 billion just from the unemployment boost, which is the difference between the $400 and the $600 per week. So this provision alone would either bring up the Republicans to $2.1 trillion or bring down Nancy Pelosi to $2 trillion. Which means we'd be only $100 billion apart. I know I'm saying only about $100 billion, but in the grand scheme of things, this is nothing. So we are very close on the numbers and could potentially get closer, but seems like a big issue here is also the language, which really explains how we spend that money. It's one thing to agree on, let's say, $75 billion for testing, tracing, and vaccines, but the language describing how exactly to spend it and allocate it is complicated also. I don't know what to tell you guys anymore. I really hope they reach a deal soon to help the American people who are really suffering and struggling, and wish they just stopped the political bickering, but that's kind of impossible now. All I can promise here is I'll continue doing my best to keep you updated. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you all, every single one of you. Please hit the like button, share this video with your friends and family, subscribe if you haven't already, and click that notifications bell to be notified whenever I publish new videos and new content for you. Also, make sure to check the link in the description for the Yada savings account. It's a new savings account that is FDIC insured, but gives you interest with a lottery system. If you use the link below, you'll get 100 tickets when you deposit as little as $25 for a chance to win up to $10 million. Then you'll get a weekly ticket for every $25 you deposit. I think this is the future of banking, as it encourages savings to earn more chances at winning a big prize. Also, don't forget to get your 2 free stocks from Webull, potentially worth up to $1,600 when you deposit only $100, which is just like cash. You can take it out anytime you feel like it. All the links are in the description below. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.